By now, I'm sure you guys heard about Umar Johnson and the conscious stripper. She couldn't be just a regular stripper. She had to be a conscious stripper, someone that was compatible to what he do. Okay, so according to her, he started calling her the conscious stripper. Now, what made the stripper conscious? Only he can answer that question. Okay, now, I'm not really gonna go hard on the brother because I don't know him. I really don't listen to him. But I will say, though, regarding his followers, it's interesting that a lot of the people in the so-called conscious community, that's in the Black Power community, that claim to have all of this information and knowledge and telling people that's in the church to, you need to get out of those churches, leave those churches, seem to be doing the same thing that they are accusing preachers of doing. Okay, and if you notice, for some odd reason, it seems that people that's in a public eye, males that's in the public eye, when they get caught up with some type of scandal pertaining to a woman, it could never be a normal woman. It's always a stripper. It always seems to be a stripper that they get caught up with. What is it about these public figures, conscious men or males, and strippers? What's the correlation between those men in the public eye and strippers? Why is it strippers that they always seem to go after? Either strippers or transsexuals. They always have a transsexual on the side or in the cut somewhere. Okay? Now, again, like I said, I don't know Dr. Umar Johnson. I hear a lot of people talk about him. And I hear now a lot of the so-called conscious community justifying his acts. You know, saying, well, he's a man and at least he wasn't with another man, and at least it's a woman, and he got him some coochie and all of these things, and he did a lot for the black community, so let's not ignore what he did for the community. But when it comes to a preacher, you tell the church folk to get out of those churches. You call them wolves in sheep clothing. You write books about them. You know, you do videos about them, and you know, you got to always bring up the preachers, and you got to always bring up the church and call them pimps in the pulpit. So now what about the black conscious pimps? As a matter of fact, at least you call the preachers pimps. But here it is, you are a John or a trick. So you call the preacher a pimp, but you lesser yourself and play the role of a trick or John. Okay, I think that's what they call them, John. Johns are the dudes that buy the prostitutes, right? But anyway, so what is it about men that's in position of power or authority or leadership and strippers or prostitutes? So, but I just think it's just quite interesting, man, because a lot of things that you accuse the preachers of doing, you're doing yourself. You know, you're out there with the strippers, you're with the prostitutes, and I'm sure some of you got some dudes on the side. You men or males have other males on the side. It just didn't come out yet. You're always soliciting money, just like you accuse the churches of doing. You know, you solicit money. Oh, we're going to have this over here. We're going to be over here, and I'm coming to this town, and get your tickets, and go to Ticketmaster, and go to this website. Make sure you buy my book. Make sure you buy my videos. You are soliciting money from the people. You go there, you give them a show, a performance. You speak what they want to hear. You know, you heed to their itching ears, and then you leave with their money. You do the same thing that you accuse preachers of doing, man. How is that? And now you have what they call conscious leaders, or people in the conscious community or black power community, are now getting caught up with prostitutes, transvestites, strippers. What's up with that? So, judge not lest ye be judged, okay? Because whatever you judge preachers on, you know, they always say, there's a saying that when you have that one finger pointing at somebody, look how many other pointing back at you. Alright? So, I just thought I'd mention, I'm sure you guys heard that already. I'm going to put a link to this young lady, her video. She called herself the conscious stripper, you know. But anyway, I'm going to put a link to her channel or her YouTube page. Okay, you guys check out. I guess the text messages he was sending, you know, and you know, and she was. I think one of the text messages said something like, you know, why we're always in a hotel or something like that, and he was saying that he wished he was, you know, he was there with her. You know, he's in Atlanta, and you know, dude got him some. You know, he's a dude. Yeah, he a man. You know, he got him some. But again, like I said, you know, if you're gonna be hard on preachers, man, don't you think you should live a step or two above preachers? You know, if you're telling people to come out of the church and follow you, and you don't want the people to give the preacher the money, but yet, you know, you're collecting the money. Okay, look at what people have done when Creflo Dollar came out and asked for his jet, and they still talking about that. But yet, when this incident occurred with Dr. Umar Johnson, and I'm sure they're going to start calling this female an agent. They're going to say that, you know, the white man. And see, you got to realize, brothers, listen, for those of you who call yourself conscious, and those of you who call yourself speaking truth in videos, or you doing lectures, you have to realize, man, you are a sitting duck, man. You are a target, you know. And a lot of times, you know, different females that come to you are going to have different motives and agendas. You know, some of them may like you sincerely, you know. But let me say this, though. The female, you know, got a video on her page where Dr. Umar Johnson was saying that he was celibate. And then she was showing the text messages where he was, you know, wanted to come over and hit it. Alright, so he got him some. He's a man. But like I was going to say, you know, brothers, you got to realize that you're going to be a target. There's going to be females that's going to be attracted to you sincerely. There's females that's going to come at you because they may want some money, or maybe later on down the line, they want to blackmail you. And there's going to be females that's going to come your way that want to get enough information on you to expose you. Okay, now what this woman's reasoning was for exposing him, I don't know. Maybe it was a thing where she just heard him talking about being celibate, and she was like, wait a minute, he ain't celibate because he was just with me. How you gonna be out there? You know, because when I went on her Twitter page, she was talking about, you know, your leaders, and talking about how, you know, those that's following him is gonna come back and justify his actions. And lo and behold, that's happening. You know, and I'm sure I'm going to get hated on even in this video. And especially, man, for those dudes, those so-called conscious dudes and black power dudes that love to call people coons and sellouts and Uncle Ruckus and Uncle Toms. And that's the reason why we're called those names, because they know that a lot of things that we say is pricking them to the heart and is hitting home. You know, so they got to come out and try to discredit other people, man. So when you start calling somebody, you should think twice, man, before you start calling somebody Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus, or a sellout, or a coon, or something like that. Because as time goes on, because when you are exposed, I'm not going to have compassion on you. As a matter of fact, like I said, I'm not even going to touch Dr. Umar, because I don't know him. I don't know him like that, but I just want to talk about how a lot of these dudes that's always preaching come out of the churches and always criticizing preachers and Christians, you know, and now here it is, you get caught up and you have the same agenda, you know, you after the people's money. You don't want the people to give the church the money. You want them to give you the money. You know, I'm coming to your town and buy your tickets. Get my book. get my videos, and then you take their money and then you leave and you really don't give them nothing. What do you give them? Okay, I gave them entertainment and I gave them some knowledge, you know, but yet they're still in the condition they are. The only thing they're doing is just going around repeating what you said, just quoting you, just mimicking you, you know, but yet there's no change in the black community. Okay, so I just think that a lot of the stuff, man, that you hear is hypocritical, you know, and I'm just waiting. There's a couple of dudes, man. There's a couple of dudes that call themselves conscious and they're in the public eye. I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for them, okay, because they are famous for calling people coons. And one of them, I think that he's on the down low. You know, one of them, I believe, is on the down low because there's some down low tendency going on there. So I'm not going to mention no names, but I think this brother, you know, if he happen to watch this video, if he see this video, he gonna know who I'm talking about. You know, these down low conscious dudes out there know who I'm talking about. And especially these that when I talk about gays and sodomites, they get offended. Those are the ones that get offended and come back and want to try to use the Bible. Well, what about this? Do you keep the whole law? Do you do this? Do you do this? And those are the ones that had some poon, had a dude's poontang. You know, had a dude's poon. And so now when you speak on, you know, homosexuals and sodomites, they get offended. And they come to the rescue of the sodomites. Okay, so when you start questioning me about, you know, well, what about this? You know, what about this? Do you keep this law? Do you keep the whole law? You know, and I'm talking about sodomites, then that send up some type of signal to me to let me know that it kind of pricks you to the heart, man. So now you have to defend your sodomite lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I just thought, so I'm sure you guys, I'm gonna put a link to this, you know, to this video, or yeah, it's a video, so I'm gonna put a link to the video so you guys can check out, you know, some of Dr. Umar's text messages. And like I said, there's a lot of them out there, man. There's a lot of people that's doing more harm to the black community and calling themselves Black Power. And they calling themselves conscious. They selling you videos. They selling you, you know, we're gonna come to your town and make sure you get your tickets. Go down and get your tickets, and we're really gonna get it in. We're gonna really deal with stuff. And you guys are gonna run down there and get your tickets. You're gonna feel good, and you're gonna be go ooh ah and all that stuff. And then he gonna leave with the pot of money, and you're gonna be left broke. Not even enough money to buy you some KFC. So check out this link, feedback, tell me what you think, and I'm going to tell you again, listen, you guys have no room to talk about the church or preachers because you guys are doing more harm to the black community than you accuse the preachers of doing. Alright? So feedback, tell me what you think till next time. I'm fearless.